Alright, so unfortunately for me, to say the least, recently recording High Elo Heist has been quite difficult, mainly because of a matchmaking update that the devs posted like 2 weeks ago, or maybe how long ago was it? Okay, approximately 2 weeks ago, yes. And they decided to make sure that, okay, we're gonna let players with high elo find matches faster, but they may match teams with a bigger elo difference. And okay, let's throw elo out of the window and just say it like this. Um, I am getting paired against people who I can exploit their weaknesses a bit more than I used to, and therefore, as a result, the matches either end super fast or there isn't much resistance, and therefore, I don't think I can improve myself, or I like, yeah, like that's, I guess that's how I should say it. So, therefore, I wouldn't feature those matches in High Elo Heist, and I also know that the majority of you people here probably have lives instead of me, like compared to me, and like you probably don't have much time to grind in the game, and I don't want to give you like shit content, if you know what I mean. All right, so we're just gonna hide this, and oh, I hit the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. All right, let's hit it. So yeah, today we're featuring a match on Bay of Winds, playing as Russia. We are playing with the Motorized deck, and if you know already, I am mainly playing this deck for two reasons. First, okay, let me just let me give you the second reason first. Okay, that is a bit weird, but the idea is that the diversanty profile picture it actually looks really cool, and a lot of people have the para-rescue profile picture already, which is also cool. But because everyone plays like US SOF a lot, so everyone has it and everyone equips it. Therefore, I don't think it's special anymore. So I'm trying to grind for something that less people have, but also looks very cool. So I mean, I'm here for the drip, basically. Okay, so that's actually the biggest reason why I'm playing this deck. Although for the second reason, actually a bit more practical here, it's that me personally, I do like this deck quite a lot. Motorized gives you the K17 boomerangs, which are not versatile, but they have a very good niche, and that is they have APS and they have cornets, which is only one of the two vehicles in that Russia has gets this kind of is this busted. Then its counterpart is the Kurganets, which is only viable or usable in the Russian Guards Tank Brigade. So I'm not saying that alright, look, so here's the thing, right? I have a lot of S300s, I have a lot of cool stuff, and I think this deck is fun, and on top of that, I get to grind a really drippy profile picture. So what's there to lose, guys? We're playing this deck. That was the idea. Okay, so as we hop into the game here, this deck is actually pretty good. I think it's good regardless of where you go, actually. And it could be on a flank, it could be going center, and you would still be doing alright. And that kind of boils down to a couple of reasons, I guess, but behind this. Actually, before we begin, let me just find some playlists to play some music for myself. Sorry, yeah, I'll play this. You can't hear it. You're not supposed to hear it. If you do hear it, then there's something wrong, and I might get copyright struck. But that's fine. Like recent videos, I've been copyright struck here and there because I like shit posting, and there's nothing stopping me from shit posting. And at the end of the day, I'm still gonna make some funny stuff, so for you to watch, and also I find it entertaining myself. But yeah, anyways, as an opening, this is the idea. I bring out one S300, just really cheap 150. I want to make sure that if a plane flies over, I can at least shoot it. The Ohotnik has Iglas, which is basically for like if someone brings in helicopters or whatever, I can probably pull a Topi Rama and just shoot them down, or at least stop the enemy's helicopters from harassing my convoy, even though it's not really close to where the convoy should be. But yeah, you get the idea. Meanwhile, in my actual convoy, I have a couple units. They're also very focused on Shorad. A bit of like BTRs, like 2 BTRs with more motostrokey in them, and they're basically a cheaper. What's that squad in the? I forgot what the squad is called in VDV. Okay, but as you can see, both my S300s and okay, that was a cold fire insta miss. You know, one miss out going out to crippling the Raptor was pretty worth it, even though I did lose the helicopter. So, yeah, probably should have kept the helicopter where the convoy was. So if he tried to dive the helicopter, then we would have been fine there. Yeah, as an opening, I think it is actually pretty nice to have BTRs because I mean the BTR 82s because they for 75 points they have more armor than the Kurganets, or sorry, the Boomerang. And what they do is they have a Concours, which is basically the same range as a Cornet. They're both 1600 meters. Am I better at actually? Oh, I'm better. Oh, I'm actually good at drawing today. Okay, but yeah, like they have 1600 meters of range. And actually, this was a mistake from me. I should have put a diversanty in there. And they do not ripple fire, but that's fine, right? I just shoot them one at a time, and the good thing about it is that I don't waste like half of my payload when I engage someone. I just shoot one missile at a time, and if I stack 2 trucks or like 2 BTRs, then that means I shoot 2 in the same salvo. Genius, isn't it? But again, this match I am playing on the flank, and to be honest, this flank kind of does belong to my dark green teammate here. And what I'm doing here, I guess, like, I should actually be deploying to the right-hand side. Also, someone last video, they did say that, hey, Corn, or like somewhere, I think somewhere on Reddit, actually. Yes, I am a Redditor. I do scroll it a fair bit. And I just go there, and then someone asked me, Corn, like, every time you draw, can you pause the video? Can I pause the video? Well, I figured out how to do it, so yeah, I just have to remember to pause the video whenever I try to draw something, or like, you know, I need to actually talk about stuff. Yeah, I'm actually surprised because like the thing, like the post wasn't even about me. Like the post, yeah. Oh, this is peak. Watch this right hand side. Boomerang versus Striker RV. Watch this. Easy conquered. Oh, sorry, like easy Cornet diff, by the way. Didn't even break a sweat right there. But yeah, like see that's the power of the ripple fire Cornet. I was thinking whether I should smoke up or not, but since my APS would block the javelin, it's just his gun, his Bushmaster 2 versus my gun, which is actually weaker. My gun times 0.5, but I have a Cornet. So, I mean, at that point, to be honest, I should be the one forcing him to smoke, or kind of something along those lines. And yeah, he had to send his lab AD after my ass, but he did not. I think he drove a bit too far. Yeah, like this guy. It turns out that I think I'm being a bit overly cautious with Shorad. As you can see, this is my Shorad helicopter. I have 2 Eaglet teams over there in the center. I'm getting in another Panzer when this guy's playing Striker Marines. And as you may know, this deck's helicopter tab is absolutely terrible. And so my opponent also has some Shorad, but am I over-investing in Shorad? Probably. But I can never be too careful, right? So that's why I bring Shorad. But then, like, yeah, again, I am thinking that I am getting a bit too much Shorad recently. But still, started the game. I lost a Kurganets, but my BTRs is still rolling around. They just resupplied behind that building. I do need to get more units on the right-hand side of the map. I should pause there. Okay, I need to get more units on the right-hand side of the map. I also need to bring in more supplies from the back, and that's also something that I really like about the Motorized specialization, and that is in their support tab, you have the fastest supply trucks that the Russians have, not the Americans obviously, but they're still good enough for them to get the job done. So, he moved his snipers into that building, right where diversanty could spot him, but his snipers could not spot me. You might ask, Corn, how can that be? Are you cheating? Okay, but like, okay, so here's how it works. Or like, I'm not really sure how it works, but I'm just guessing, but it works that way. So when an enemy sniper hops into a building, right when they hop into that building, I assume that they don't get the stealth bonus, but because your snipers are in the building already, they get the bonus. So what happens is there's probably like a check of like detection check, you know? So even though the snipers technically entered from like a door that I couldn't see from this direction, I still count as spotting them, which is quite interesting. So I think this works in like, let's say 2000, right? 2000. This is just a guess. I should probably test it. You divide it by 3, and that is 666. Okay, that doesn't sound. 666? Maybe. But do my snipers really spot each other at 600 meters? Sometimes. Okay, I could be lying. I could be spreading misinformation. Let's try not to do that. Alright, so again, what's happening on this flank? As you, since like, you know, we're actually trying to play the game here. So, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to make sure no one was playing around this part of the map, just sending helicopters in. So I needed to send units to my side of the map. We do spot some, like this guy trying to plant some early recon on the very right-hand side of the map, and you know, we're not gonna let that slide. We gotta deal with that somehow, and then eventually clear this part of the map out. In the meantime, we are taking control of H, but that truck looks incredibly suspicious, as my BTRs are nowhere to be seen to support those, like those Motorized. Oh wait, these are the mechanized infantry. Motorized, yes, these are from Mechanized. So in this deck, it's actually also something that I struggle with the deck building, and that is, do I use the 7-man Motorized? 7 or 8? 7 or 8. Okay, so 7-man Motorized that just died here. This is from the Mechanized specializations. They have AT4s, and you know, like basically AT4s, and then and that was a bomber plane, by the way. You'll see it later. It's pretty cheap, so it's a cool guy. And then, or do I bring? Okay, I landed a cornet, but you know, I'm also dying, so I'm just gonna smoke myself up. And then the 8-man team, I'm not really sure what they're called, but more Moto something among those lines. I'm not really sure, but they have an AT launcher, just like the there's no AT launcher that the US has, but basically it is also 400 meters. It's the one that the should have, but they only have one launcher, like just like the diversanty. So one has a bit more people in it, a bit better anti-infantry, even though they almost have identical rifles, and the one that I'm using this game is the one with AT4s, so it shoots a little bit faster. In the meantime, our opponent seems to be a bit over-invested in the right-hand side as we try to roll our BTRs around and just kind of catch this guy out of position. So this guy is, as you can see, my Conquerors actually just dealt with that guy without a lot of stress. And right now we have, yeah, our BTRs are kind of rolling, you know. Our BTRs are just doing work. You know, if you're in trouble, just smoke up, be fine, right? And then we're also trying to just make sure that the recon on the right hand side, oh, that was seen, very scary. Yes, time to get more supplies. Yeah, we're just gonna get BTRs and we're gonna send them around the map. And ooh, there was something in there. I thought it was a sniper initially. when I heard that pew sound. But obviously, usually you would put your snipers on hold fire, right? So what happens is, that probably isn't a sniper then, right? And at the time of the match, I really didn't know. That was a lousy mistake. I probably should have shot my, like, I probably should have moved my S300. But again, like, that's the thing about radar, no? Like, or something about Russia that I think it's much easier to counter a Russian SAM site because they move slow and they're not like the Pac-3s, you know, they get more shots and stuff. But then, yeah, it kind of does make sense that I guess they're kind of a bit easier to take out since they move slower. But they also have much better potential at shooting down planes, which I failed to do so in this case. So yeah, here I'm just resupplying everything. I'm moving my lines up. I'm not sure if I can actually take H, but from the looks of this game, yeah, my friends are doing great on the or it looks like they're doing great. I'm just really not in position to do so. Yeah, I'm still checking for snipers, even though the snipers I foresaw turned out to be a 4-con team. I also have oh, pause at the wrong time. Okay, I'll come back to this a bit later, I suppose. So right now, whatever's going on in middle, I am a bit delayed, okay? Like my infantry kind of died for nothing over there in H. And sometimes I guess like everyone makes that mistake, you know, like you get a bit too greedy, you push stuff into to places that they shouldn't belong, and they kind of just die for nothing. And for me right now, the biggest challenge is clearing this, like these buildings, and maybe there's something around here, but we don't know yet. So that's what I'm trying to do. Again, pushing in up snipers would help a lot, having Shurad, and also face checking a little bit with my infantry, or with my vehicles. In the meantime, we do have a bit of stuff in the back. So this is my scout team that once upon a time someone put a sniper squad in here and I was getting absolutely already to shit. So I'm going to put a scout team there myself, even though I probably just need to check with a scout truck. Over there in the bottom right hand side, we also have another recon truck with a man pad, just in case some plane like decides to fly through. So yeah, as we can see right here, oh my god. Okay, that boomerang is getting cooked. Yeah, so it turns out there are stuff around here. There's stuff around here, and it's trying to save my boomerang, but the only thing that can save it is probably those buildings over there, and I can only just leave it there, you know? It looks quite dead to me, only for me to find out, oops, I drove a bit too far, time to hide again. The AT4 almost hit me, but they didn't. There's also like the Booker's chasing me, man. The Booker it's giving chase. Doesn't want to leave me alone. In the meantime, my Kurganets, or like my boomerang, successfully trades against a striker that has nothing to do. And then the Booker, right when a Cornet or Conquerors was about to hit him, he dove into the ditch right there, smokes again, tries to dodge my Vampire, and then pokes out again just to get fucked in the ass. Sorry for saying that. And that guy's cooked. Okay, so great news. I mean, was that a good trade? I guess it was a good trade. Definitely worth it. Yeah, the Vampire is a pretty good squad at dealing with okay, not the best at dealing with everything, but since it gets 600 pen, it's basically a Moz team. But you only get 2 of them. You get 2 of those, and they also take a bit longer to reload. And for me now, the Striker RV is actually quite scary for my BTR 82s, because these guys have no... Okay, that was a desync. As you can see, my ping this game is quite high. So yeah, like, I wanted to go for the Super Curva, but I guess my BMP ended up shooting it down. And because these BTRs do not have APS, so as a result, I don't really have yeah, like I don't really stand a chance against the striker RV. In the meantime, there is a weapon team inside that building over there. They have some infantry out in the open, and it seems like I do need to get myself, like, I do need to get things going and try to help my team push this flank, at least from the right hand side, so eventually one day we can take control of H, even though it seems like against striker Marines might not be the easiest task. And that's something like I've been struggling with, to be honest with you. For me, you might know I love playing striker SF, and the biggest weakness about that deck is that they have no staying power. So against anything, any deck with a tank in it, if I cannot secure an early like I can't push up early enough or like far enough for my opponent to like bleed units trying to push into me, instead for him taking like just getting mid for free, then deck is kind of pointless. And I still make that mistake to this very day. In the match that I played today, it was a private match against Zulu, and then like everyone from like pretty much a lot of people in the English community. Ben was asleep, I assume, but like it was a fun match, and I still learned a lot from that game. So yeah, like you know, I'm here for that kind of stuff, fun stuff. So in the meantime, we do spot a Booker just hiding in that bush. I'm also trying to push my stuff up, just trying to like again like the good part, or like the strong suite, or like the pros, I guess, about this deck is that the Kurganet, sorry, not the Kurganet, the Boomerang is extremely strong. Oh, I gotta smoke because that's a javelin. Yeah, if I don't smoke, I would have taken way more damage. I'm gonna check this. For some reason that missed. Okay, time to burn another smoke. Because that's a javelin. If I had... Oh, but... It still lands. It still lands. So I heard javelins are bugged this patch. Or at least today, I guess. I heard today that it was bugged, but I'm not really sure about it. But they're certainly doing very well this patch. And... So for me, like, just to fight against a normal player, it would probably require me to use a vehicle with APS. And this is exactly the deck where I can do it, because the Boomerang does have it. And they're also very fast, so whenever I finish shooting all of my cornets, I'll just go back and resupply. So yeah, it turned out I ran out of supplies over there. This guy also has a Booker right there. Trying to trap this guy because he pushed out in the open, so have a Vampire and stuff going out for him. As you can see, it's not ideal, but just these two, like the Vampire and the BTR-82, dude, it's cooking. I get clipped there, but you know what? Screw it, man. Screw it. Okay, and then there's a tank in the back, but oh, it is what it is. That thing was 1 HP. I just wished I could have finished it off. I just couldn't. It was hiding in the ditch. And yeah, it's probably going to stay in the ditch for a while. Oh, no, not really. My Factoria squad is actually shooting at it inside the ditch, which is quite nice. My Vampire is, I mean, it's about to get taken out, right? Okay, take an APS charge. You have to remember that this is a 7-man squad with 2 launchers, so if they're left with like half HP, then they probably lose a launch already, and then they get just blasted by that engineer and what else? Marine Raiders CQC. Like, brother, you don't need to run both of them together, but I guess if you want extra lethality, go for it. Be my guest. Alright, so right now, there's definitely stuff in this bush line, like tree line. He's probably even resupplying there, but we're not gonna let that booker get away, or are we? Gonna make sure that oh, smoke, smoke, smoke! I forgot. I did not have APS. Smoked a bit too late here. Gonna have to push the grooves, like retreat the grooves into that BMP. And because I know these infantry have no AT, and the BMP is personally a bit tanky, I'm just gonna let the BMP do it, like protect the infantry inside for as long as possible. Just hiding right here, even though I don't have smoke at all. Yeah, this spot looks decent. And I might have made a mistake here. We're still okay, but okay, I made a mistake here. So I wanted to put the Spetsnaz GRU into this building to shoot the vehicles outside, but guess what happens? They're running around the BMP, man. They're running around the BMP. They don't know where to go. Now where are you going? I don't know where they're going. Okay, and it was at this moment I realized, okay, this sucks balls. There's too many men. They're just engineer teams everywhere, and I have 700 points just sitting out in the open, doing absolutely nothing. What do we do now? Well, that's a FEP trophy, and that's a really high value target. So we're just gonna see what we can do and try to bomb it. But you might ask, Corn, what do you have on the MiG-29? I can answer you that question right now. It is two 500 kilogram smart bombs for 275 points. So much cheaper than the Viper, and the stats are basically identical. What do? I laser with my diversanty that's like on his face. I drop the bomba, and then I kill it. Easy! He didn't expect the unexpectable. But yeah, like my diversanty is actually, you know, they did the heavy lifting here. They were taking damage, but my man was holding on to that laser designation for dear life. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. So, yeah, obviously the MiG-29 does not have laser designation. It's okay. I'll just have something else that laser it for me. But then again, you definitely need something in the front lines to do that. So, in the meantime, I'm just gonna turn my radar off. That thing almost shredded my ass. Like both S300s. That would have been unfortunate, you know? Yeah, we're just gonna take these infantry back, resupply them on 1 HP. As an aftermath of that match, or like this brief showdown, infantry showdown, we've killed their tank, which is quite nice, honestly, with no losses. This guy had no packs. He's playing Marine Striker, and he refuses to bring out an yeah, what's it called? Like a pack 2, you know? This guy still has his what's that called? Tow team inside that skyscraper. Not much I can do about that. Oh, the random snipe. And the Prowler is pretty nice. Love to see it. But yeah, I was afraid that I might get like revenge artillery by like some random ballistic missile or something, so I had to move them really quick. So yeah, I might be spending a bit too, like, not spending enough money on units, but for some reason like my income is actually pretty low now. Like, this is the income that I would normally like, yeah, like I usually don't have this much income for some reason. Oh, lost vision of that Viper, otherwise I would have shot it down. Alright, so we're just gonna put units back in the front line. And yeah, like for some reason this deck has so many units to the point where, like, when I play Striker SF, I usually have like at least 150 income. And you might tell me, Corn, why? I don't know, I guess it's a bad habit. I should definitely have be deploying more units on the field instead of just losing them over and over again. In the meantime, this artillery piece, I'm just gonna call it that because the mechanized division has a lot of like these gun artillery stuff. So they're just gonna artillery those bushes in the back that, you know, like, I thought to myself, okay, there was a tow team here. Where is he gonna put the supplies? Probably somewhere nearby. And is there a tree line right next to it? I wonder what's inside. Well, there's definitely something inside, and there it is. There it is. This guy's also hiding his stuff in that tree line. Honestly, like, the artillery I have in this... Oh, thank God I moved my stuff. Is, okay, so the artillery I have in this deck are quite simple, I guess, or like, it's complicated. Okay, simple and I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, wait! Pause. Okay, so... Can I roll back for, like... Okay, maybe like this. Let me just open the support tab and I'll talk about it. Okay, right here. So I might be a bit over invested in supplies, but honestly, the helicopters in this deck don't really carry a lot of supplies, so I do need the Ural at some point. And then for like smaller payloads, I just need the smaller truck to carry it around. You could just bring the big one. That's fun. That's fine. I'm also paranoid of planes, so I just bring more S300s because my air tab is not really that great. I have a Shorad, and then now all of a sudden I only have 2 slots left for AA, for air artillery. So I've been switching between the HE and the cluster grad, and personally I do like the cluster grad a bit more, even though it's a bit more expensive. And then since I have cluster artillery already, then that means I need HE. So for HE I have 2 options. I could use gun artillery. There's the Tolpan Malka, the sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, and another one, giant something. And then like there's also the Tornado, which is MLRS, but you can laser it, so it's pretty nice, I guess. Still, I am still trying to figure out what exactly to bring, but like let me know what you prefer to bring if you play this deck, because like I'm stressed out playing this or building this deck, or maybe that's why I'm still playing this deck after all this time, because there's no like correct answer to a lot of the things that this deck has to offer. Same goes with other decks, but it's especially an issue for this deck. So I'm just gonna get out more supplies, and it's almost been 2 phases, and neither side has made progress this match. Although for me, we are. It only took us 20 minutes, or maybe 30. We're slowly pushing into the gates of H. I just kind of wished I had a cluster grad here instead of something else, because this guy is just hiding in these 2 tree lines, man. Just right there. Oh, watch this. Okay, and then I that did not work out. My that was the most expensive BMP3. But yeah, that I kind of just wanted to trade, but then I got domed by the ATGM that they had. That was the I think that was the overkill mechanic. Okay, so my scout unfortunately died inside there. For some reason I sent a boomerang here. Not sure what's going on here. So we're just probably gonna try to deal with this infantry. Definitely need to let that boomerang run. Let the 1 HP boomerang run away. We do spot a sniper though, which is quite nice, you know. Honestly, I think it's actually very much worth it to trade a boomerang with a for a sniper, even though it does cost like almost twice as much. And then this is desync fucking me over again because I have really high ping. I've lost a lot of Pansiers this game, and it kind of resulted in me reconsidering, do I really bring Pansier? But then again, like, you never know, right? Maybe one day the Pansier just starts like just shreds helicopters, but I've been noticing, like, people have been using helicopters less often because of how easy it is to, like, punish sometimes. Like, normally it's the helicopters engaging on opponents, so the opponent, like, obviously the helicopters have the element of surprise, right? So their first shot is definitely not going to be anticipated, especially for the Comanche, but from there on, as long as your opponent knows where your stuff is, then yeah, then like their shot is gonna come, and you don't know when the shot is gonna come on, and then screw over your helicopter. In the meantime, this small whatever abomination this is, we finally caught it out in the open because this guy refuses to bring AT with the CQC squad, and yeah, we're just gonna punish it with our vehicles, let their vehicles do the job. And oh, that is 2 bookers. Run away. Also, guys, sorry for I guess I had a couple, like, the game was a bit laggy at times. Not really sure why. Oh. CJ? Not sure what the CJ is doing. Okay, so our Panzer is on the way. Again, it's not the fastest vehicle, but you might ask me, Corn, would you take the Panzer or the Osa? Both vehicles are great, honestly. But here's the thing, okay? So the Osa costs 140. 140. The Panzer is 250. But you can get the Tunguska for 175, and the thing gets a smoke and it has a gun. It has a gun and it gets a, yeah, like the smoke is the most important part. So if you're in trouble, then the smoke is gonna help a lot. So, and also they also runs like 5 kilometers faster on the road, but it gets slowed down by a lot off road. So like it's like 70 speed on road, but 30 speed off road. But the Panty or the Tunguska, it goes 65, and then it's like, I think it's 50 or something. So when you need to, like, when you're hiding in a bush, trying to like ambush a helicopter, it could be a Comanche, it could be anything else. If you ask me, I do think that for Russia, the off-road capabilities of Ashurat is really important, and the reason for that is because of the Comanche. Okay, there's something called the Comanche, and that thing, it can always shoot at your Shorad. It can always shoot at your Shorad without your Shorad spotting it, unless you have something else spotting that helicopter first, of course. But in some scenarios, that doesn't happen most of the time, and as a result, you would usually have to hide inside a tree line, or just like, even if it does get spotted, okay, then it's just gonna get artillery, or something else is gonna, like, something bad is gonna happen to it. So you probably should hide it inside of a tree line or something like that. So anyways, in the meantime, we are you know, this Abrams took down one of our infantry, but somehow we immobilized it with the gun of a boomerang. Actually, kind of crazy. Did not expect that. So we did spot the Striker V trying to enter this tree line over there on the right, just a glimpse. But we're gonna have to let's go take out that Abrams really quick. We also missed the first shot, point blank, by the way, point blank. Mildly infuriating, to say the least. Okay, but we do take out the tank eventually. That's fine. Just gonna have to make sure that the P-72 bails out before anything else happens. Oh, hello. Oh, small, run away. Take a small to the bum. Yeah, the helicopter, the S-10 rockets from, or the S-12 rockets from the Russian helicopters are actually really helpful against this kind of stuff. Just gonna run for dear life. Okay, we're actually safe now from the small's range, and yeah, have a bit of artillery in the back helping out. Yeah, that should be good enough to repel this guy. Just pull out from there and then we save it. Yeah, I'm gonna push diversanty back into the that same building. I'm not really sure if this guy spotted my diversanty, but obviously it does look like they probably haven't. Here we're also trying to just shoot that Viper, but I might have forgotten about something. So we get the fancy going on. The striker RV was right there in that tree line, and the javelin just went through my smoke. And now as a result, there's also a marine squad in there. Oh, who would have thought? Well, I'm cooked now. That boomerang might just find itself in a tough place. And yeah, like it's coming out right there. I think something I could have done better was just hide it right here, where he couldn't shoot me with the javelin and I would be safe from fire. And instead I just ran it down the road without smoke. I mean, I already used my smoke, right? Yeah, definitely needed to deal with that strike RV because that guy is being a bit too annoying with, or like the strike RV, it's just really good, right? Also firing from supplies. Don't do that. Don't be me. Yeah, we're gonna punish this guy for not having smoke. He smokes it up with his marine squad, I believe. But as he retreats into the forest, he probably ran the wrong way. And our SSL Cornet is gonna finish off the strike RP. Thank goodness it did. I'd be pissed if we didn't. Yes, and then in the meantime, oh, but we do spot something over there. There was a C-ram, a 200-point C-ram, and all those infantry are just behind that building, and they're full HP again. So yeah, there definitely is some, maybe, or like some sort of supplies behind that building or somewhere over there. As you can see, this game, it doesn't be at least the end of this phase. So yeah, we do kill something, or like the supplies there at least. And even though we did get 4 points from last phase, we are currently down 6 points, and we gotta do something about it. As for me, my arena tank is actually doing okay, I guess. It's definitely. Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but ever since the Terminator got increased in price, the time it takes, or at least the infantry seems a bit more survivable now. But or maybe it's just for US, you know, because they have larger squads and stuff. And normally it's US that has to fight Russia. For Russia, a lot of infantry, they have only a 6 armor, and especially in this deck, they only have a collective, like a couple units that have 10 armor, and most of them are CQC, which is still good, don't get me wrong, they're still good. Anyways, here, this guy is just running bookers everywhere, and I'm trying to save my life. I saved my BTR, trying to let my tanks support it, but maybe this time I've pushed a bit too far, and this is something that the T-72 cannot do, okay? You're gonna see its weakness, or like something it cannot deal with. And that is the fact that its reverse speed is 15. So you're gonna see right here as this booker tries to run at me. I realize, oh wait, shit, it's a booker in my face. Time to run away. But then it might be already a bit too late, because this guy gonna smoke up, but then okay, I might, yeah, like he's just running around me in circles, and even though I do seem to be reversing the right way, he still gets a couple good shots off the side, and this is ultimately something that only fast reversing tanks can do. Also here, the booker is way too close for me to shoot my cornet, so my boomerang is also in trouble now. Time to run away! Again! Smoke! Smoke! Run! Boomerang, run! Got G. Okay, absolutely fantastic, chums. Yeah, well, also that's a lot of ballistics over there. Yeah, that booker is scary, man. once it runs loose, like in these buildings, the only thing you can do is probably just, yeah, like an ATGM. Not even an ATGM, but you do need to rely on these, like Spetsnaz Guru ATs just to jump scare them. Make sure they don't hop into that, go into the buildings. Oh, but that is a CJ. Flip it off. Too late. Unfortunate. Yeah, there's about 5 minutes left. We are about 1,000 points, 1,300 points behind, and why is there an APV right there? I'm gonna make sure that this guy, or like this Marine Striker guy. So as you might know, like this guy just did a massive push into these buildings. But something else to keep in mind is that like, yeah, you can push these buildings, but at some point I will push back, right? Now the problem for him is either he brings in enough units to support him, or he has to retreat again. If else it's just gonna be like this game where he just loses some of his units, like that SMAT team. Right now this guy's reinforcing down the middle, probably pushed a bit too far. He should be around D, but that also dies. And yeah, now these infantry are kind of stranded here. Don't do much about it. So there's a bit of back and forth going on with Mech Motor, or like any other deck that uses IFVs is running on wheels. It's quite funny, really. I actually don't like to deal with enemy tanks using my own tanks. I'm out of bullets. That's crazy. Here resupply and get back in the BTR. Okay, looking good. That's probably what we're going to be doing for the rest of the match, or like 4 minutes at least. And as you might see, Corin, will you ever be able to take H this game? Great question. I have no clue. I mean, I've played this match, so obviously I know, but like, also that cornet hit my boomerang. Hello? I have to go back and resupply again, and that miss I missed. It's so over. Actually, my disappointment is immeasurable. So one thing about the cornet IFVs is that they ran out of cornets really quickly, because you only get 4, right? You only get 4. You don't get like 8 or a lot like normal US tow trucks, unless you get like a Chrysanthema, which honestly, Chrysanthema is pretty good in this deck, and it has to do with one thing. I should have told this guy to turn his radar off, but he forgot to. Something really good about oh, that was actually a coordinated strike. Interesting. Yeah, anyways, the Chrysanthema is really good because it does have 1,700 meter range, and it does outrange the tows if you ever need it to be. It doesn't really get smoked, so there's actually a better alternative for it. I think I'll maybe, do I feature this? But it is a VDV motorized deck, so this is gonna be for another video probably, not for today. Now right now, as you can see, I'm pretty chilling like before this line. Like before this line, it's pretty much my territory, but for him, I'm not sure what's inside this tree line, what could be inside here. There could even be a sniper here, I don't know. And this guy's got bookers, so I can't really seem to be pulling back and forth here. Oh wait, something happened, hold up. Sorry guys, was busy with some stuff, had to cut off for a little bit. So currently, like, the match state isn't the best, and we are currently down 3 ticks, and we can't really afford that. We can only afford 1 tick at most. And for me, I don't really have a lot of tools to actually push into H at this point. All I've been doing this match was simply just try to fight for H, even though I couldn't really encircle it. Until this happened. A nuke. And that nuke actually did quite a lot of damage. It killed a lot of units there. and with 1 minute left on the clock, either we decap to cap the points and try to make it even, or we just try to get back from what's it called again? KD, and then we got it. So right now I'm just trying to send all my units front, apply pressure, see what happens next. And except I kind of forgot about my planes, my jets. They're kind of still circling over there on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and the flare symbol is actually red at this point. This means that you ran out of flares and you're in deep trouble, even though it means that there's not really a missile shooting at it. But anyways, for our current state, we did manage to catch a couple units off guard, hitting a tank, or maybe a tank. But yeah, with 45 minutes left, we actually did manage to decap a cap, and our KD is, like, our destruction points is back on the menu again. You seem to be on par with your opponents. Actually, not anymore. We are, we have the same, like, points here and that, this and that. So, here, like, I realized, oh wait, I'm pushing into some bad stuff. Only for my grad to artillery myself. I'm like, what am I doing? It was meant for the tank, and now I lost everything, so not the best, but yeah, a bit of a small mistake here. But yeah, these two people were piling on me as I tried to push into H, so I guess it did buy my team a bit of distraction. But overall, I don't think I contributed the most this match, and it was thanks to my team throwing in a nuke at the end of the phase that got us back into the game, or something like that. So yes, that is the end of this match, and I think it doesn't really count as a high elo heist, to say the least. I don't think it does count because obviously we didn't really steal that much elo, did we? Nah, not really. So yeah, we will be talking about the deck briefly, and I think that will be it for today after we talk about the deck, of course. Alright, so this is our deck for VDV Motorized. Sorry, not VDV Motorized, Motorized Mechanized. And I couldn't really wrap my head around exactly what to bring, but a couple things are there, at least. First is the boomerang. I would at least have 3 to 4 in my deck. I would also have some BMP3s, just the default one. A lot of players run the upgraded one, which I also think is good, but to me, these are extremely efficient at dealing with infantry, so the upgraded one and the, like, depending on which one, if you want a bit more anti-tank, then you should go for the Epoca. If you want a bit more anti-infantry, then the BMP3M or the default one are, like, they perform almost the same, identical. And then infantry tab-wise, I haven't really been using the Ognemechiki guys, but they are pretty nice. Vampire too, they're great at dealing with vehicles. And then the Factoria is just the ATGM team that can shoot at, like, most tanks, and I mean anything that's not a SEP or a FEP, because they only have 1400 meters range, right? But normally they would have the same range as, like, a javelin, so, but they ripple fire basically. And then everything else here, I'm also thinking about turning my Tunguska Panzer, downgrading to Tunguska, because as you could see earlier that match, they were getting sniped all the time. And then my RD, I'm still trying to figure everything out. I don't really know whether to bring more grads with more clusters to deal with tanks, or to just have more MLRS, you know, like HE MLRS. And the most special thing about this deck is probably the MiG-29, because I have 2 smart bombs on this thing, and yes, it does rely on the diversanty or something else to laser it, but I have found it to be coming a bit clutch, especially when you think about the fact that it is basically a Viper. This thing is basically a Viper, but it flies faster. It also has the same amount of ECM. I think a bit more ECM actually. And with these, you can one tap tanks and not infantry, especially Marines. As you could see, against infantry, they didn't have enough damage, but that was mainly because the squads were just big, and then these were more than enough at dealing with the armored tanks. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of my deck. Also some seed, Shorad. This has Kokon ATGMs that can deal with tanks in case something goes wrong, but normally I don't need these, even though I do think I should get one. I should call out one. And yeah, that should be it for this episode of High Elo Heist. So thank you everyone for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.